Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you, Christy, for the wonderful introduction. And I agree with you. It seems like I found another family when I joined this team. And it's just been a wonderful culture to be able to belong with. Everybody is very lifting and encouraging to each other. And that's what I really, really love. And it has been a blessing. And the blessings that you guys have provided to us have allowed us to provide that blessing to our friends and family as well. So that's what we're doing here today, you guys. We are going to do an introduction to LifeWave. We're going to talk a little bit about the science. We're going to talk about the medical studies. We're going to just talk about how it all works. And then we're going to open it up for questions. We're going to do some testimonies as well. So you can put the chat, as Christy said, you can put the questions into the chat or wait to the end. But first and foremost, thanks for spending the time with us. We know time is valuable, and we're just happy that you're here with us to spend this time. So I am coming to you from Longmont or Loveland, I think, Loveland, Colorado. We were in Estes Park today, tootling around, and then we're spending a couple nights here, going back hiking tomorrow in Estes Park. And I'm here with Carrie as well. She's not showing her face at the moment, but she's here as well, and her husband Eloy is as well. And so we're just enjoying the cool, like Christy said, enjoying the cool weather up here. So I want to just take you back in time 9-10 months ago. Carrie, I called up Carrie and I said, hey, you want to go hiking with me? And she says, oh, I'm going to this meeting about stem cells. And I'm like, well, what is it? And she goes, I don't know. And she said to come. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So it was November like 3rd, I think it was a Friday. And so we show up at a meeting and there's Christy teaching everybody about the science and the technology. And I'm just like blown away, literally. And part of it's my personality, but I'm like that helper. I'm an Enneagram 2 helper type person. So all I could do is think about, it's like, not only could it help me, but think of all the people that I knew. I have a big family. I've been in Gilbert for 23 years. I know lots of people that this could help impact and change people's lives. And so I got on it. And then I remember talking to my pharmacist and said, hey, have you ever heard of this company? And he's like, yeah. And I said, do you use it? He goes, yeah. And I said, and you didn't tell me? So at that point, it literally was a light bulb and said, you know what? I'm going to tell everybody. And Carrie and I, so we've got these shirts on that says, I have a patch for that. And she has one that says, I've got stem cells. And then our back says the other. And we wander around. And it's amazing how many people stop us to talk to us. Like, what is this about stem cells? Everything from a roller coaster ride today, a coaster ride that we did into the mountain, to walking through Estes Park, a lady just flags us down and starts talking to us. So it opens conversations and it gives us the ability to touch people's lives, which is incredible. So I started 9-10 months ago. I've had incredible benefits with it. Everything from healing my shoulder to I can lift, I can do handstands and everything. Skin, hair, nails, all those fun things. Everything from, I just figured out a new thing that happened to me. I just told Carrie about it a couple days ago. I had an injury. I had nerve damage inside of my face from a surgery went bad when I had my wisdom teeth taken out as a teenager. And so some people know this, not everybody knows this about me, but I have no feeling in about this portion of my mouth. So my family knows when I eat, if I have food on my lip, I don't see it, I can't feel it. So they tell me, right? Well, guess what? I mean, that area has diminished. So now it's just literally just like this little portion here. So the sensation of feeling something on Novocaine, that's what this whole area used to feel like, and it's diminishing. So I think it's healing my nerves, which is pretty incredible. So anyway, those are some of my testimonies. So, and we're gonna talk about other people's testimonies as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and get started here. Let me go back up a little bit, and let's start there. Let's start here. Okay, and let me do the slideshow. Okay. Okay, so I can't see anybody at the moment. I only see. Well, I don't really see anybody. So I am just going to go forward here and let me shut down. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to shut down this participants here. Okay. So starting off with LifeWave. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. Some of you guys have heard of the name before. Maybe you didn't know much about it, but LifeWave is both a technology and a brand. I'd never heard of it when I first came upon it. So I was pretty excited about it. And what I was like, what are these little white patches things? So you guys can probably see it on my hand right here. I have my X39 in the back of my neck and a different patch here. And so I just started learning about it. And so again, Christy was the one who sort of shared this with me. Well, Carrie and Christy sort of shared it with me. What they are is they're simple patches. They come in a little pouch like this. They look like this. And basically as a little sticky on the back, and you peel them off. What they are very simply an acupuncture patch, okay? So they are a technology that allows us to use light and heat from our body to reflect off of organic crystals that are in the patch to tell our body to react a certain way, okay? So the X39 is our stem cell activation patch. And in that patch, it is the light and heat activate what's called a copper peptide called GHKCU, which we'll touch in a little bit. But what that's doing is we're wearing them for 12 hours on, we're taking them off and letting our body heal. And basically in that time frame, it is stimulating our stem cells to regenerate. And I love that word. Who doesn't want our body to regenerate, especially at this age, right? The term actually is called photobiomodulation. It's a form of light therapy. So if any of you guys have ever gone to a physical therapist or something like that and use light therapy, it's the same technology, the light therapy, okay? Let's see, moving on here. Okay, so the way the patches work is basically acupuncture points. I didn't really know a lot about acupuncture before I started this, but the more I've been doing this longer, the more I'm learning. And our body is full of energy. And basically these patches go on different points of our body to impact how our body works. So the X39 will come with directions on where to put the patches. You can put them on the back of your neck, below the belly button, but you can also put them on basically like points of pain. So acupuncture points, the longer you're doing this, the more you'll learn that different points in our body affect different parts of our body. And so it's exciting information to learn. It's exciting to be able to have that kind of power over how our body works and how our body heals, okay? The patches are actually registered as a Class 1 medical device. All that really means is like a Band-Aid. There's no medication in here, so nothing is going into our body. So let me repeat that. Nothing is going into our body. So it's not considered what's called transdermal because there's nothing that's going through our skin, okay? Literally what's happening is our light and our heat in our body is reflecting off of crystals. It's activating, it's telling our body how to react to that, okay? We have a lot of really good medical studies here. It says over 80. One of the studies that I always like to mention because I thought it was very powerful, impactful, was they did a study over 6 months that people wore X39, and in that 6-month time frame, the people's heart aged backwards 8 years. Okay, 6 months of X39, and basically their heart aged back complete 8 years, which is mind-boggling. So again, no drugs, no chemicals or stimulants. I get that question a lot. It's like people get nervous, like, what are you putting on me? You know, what does this have in it? Nothing. There's no chemicals, nothing in it. So it can't interact with any medications that you're on because there's nothing in it to do that, okay? And I love the patents, okay? We have an incredible inventor, David Schmidt. He's an inventor, the CEO, head of the company, and he has spent a life inventing and spent his life providing service and medical solutions for our health systems. So pretty excited about that. Okay, let's go next slide. The less stem cell activity you have, the slower you heal and the faster you age. So I'm 58 years old. I would love to age backwards, and I've been doing this for 10 months now. So I'm hoping I've aged back at least 10 months. But I will continue to use this. You know, I've had people ask me, hey, you know, how long do you need to use this? And when we talk about for every decade that you should use it for at least a month. But here's the thing, just like anything else, so say going to your gym, Carrie brought this up. You go to your gym, you stop working out, you're going to stop getting the benefits, right? So you stop using the patches, you're going to stop getting the benefits of that. Okay, you will stop healing internally, you'll continue to age and that type of thing. Okay. So what are stem cells? It's a lot more discussion out in the public. Like one of the things that I say to people when I first meet them is like, do you know anything about stem cells? Have you heard of stem cells? And like, oh yeah, I've heard about injections and stuff like that. Well, a lot of people don't really understand the whole premise behind the stem cells. And think about stem cells, there are neutral cells and they are the building blocks of our body. That's why the stem cells the fetal stem cells are like cord blood and that type of stuff is so incredible because they're clean, fresh, healthy stem cells, okay? So basically a stem cell can become any kind of cell that your body needs. So as you grow and age, your body is trying to figure out what it needs to do to heal you. That's where the patches come in. The patches, your body will basically figure out what stem cells and how to regenerate our stem cells to get you into a healthier state, okay? By the time we're 25, our stem cells are decreasing. And by the time we're 60, which I'm almost there, our stem cell activity is drastically reduced, okay? So if you guys want to do a little bit of research, go look up GHKCU. It's a copper peptide. It is what is stimulated by by the patches to help regenerate our own stem cells. So it's literally the holy grail of anti-aging, okay? The last thing on here, they talk about affordable and ethical and requires no injections. I've talked to numerous people. We've got, people in our group here who had the same situation where they were told they needed to get stem cell injections. It's very expensive. It doesn't always work. I remember reading a study that said if you don't put the right kind of cells to the right kind of places, you don't necessarily get the benefit that you want. So that's the hard part about it as well. So it's still a very new technology, but here we are actually regenerating our own stem cells. We are not putting anything into our body, okay? Okay, so let's talk about some of the benefits. This is my favorite part. So reducing inflammation and pain. If you guys have done any type of research, you probably see things in news and articles. So many of our health issues are based on inflammation, okay? A lot of our autoimmunes, diabetes, arthritis, all of those are inflammation-based diseases. And so this can help reduce inflammation and pain as well. So when I talked about people to X39, I usually always also talk to them about our pain patch, because our pain patch can be so impactful for people who are dealing with pain. I wish I'd known about this, a few years ago, because family members got addicted to opiates, and this would have been an incredible possible solution. So reducing pain and inflammation. And that's probably one of the first things people notice if they have any type of pain, is a quick, impactful thing they notice is reducing that pain and inflammation. Okay. Supports wound healing, old and new. I ran into a young man in Boulder last weekend, and Carrie and I were wearing our shirts. We were at a farmer's market, and he was a high school student, and he said, so tell me about this stem cell thing. And so we told him, he said, does it help get rid of acne? And I said, yeah, it does. Let me show you some pictures. And he was all excited. And so he took my information, and we're talking later. So yes, old and new. So surface wounds as well as deep wounds. And we have a lot of testimonies behind that as well. Skin remodeling, again, that's, helping the wrinkles, the acne, all of that type of thing. There's a lot of testimonies where people, the heart, have, the heart scars, or the scars on the knees for surgeries, scars on shoulders. I have a friend who has a multi-inch scar on her shoulder, as we have pictures to show to you too, but her scar is reducing, and she's noticed that even just in the first few months, okay? Improves sleep. Okay, how many of you guys, seriously, I can't see anybody's face right now, but so many people notice an incredible difference in sleep. We have a sleep patch, but X39 just does an incredible job for me. We also have this thing called Dream, which is a aromatherapy spray. I was visiting my sister in Vail on the way up to Colorado, and we were talking. She's been patching since probably December. And I told her about the spray, and she didn't know about it. And so I left some with her and came back to visit her on Labor Day. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. And she ordered some and just to share with her friends. And it just was so huge for her to help her sleep deep and really well as well. But like I said, X39 does that enough for me. So I love that as well. Enhanced sports performance, provides faster recovery from exercise, especially over people over 50. So we do have X39 will do that. We also have another patch that helps as a performance patch as well. But here's the thing, you guys, I can continue to go through all of these, but seriously, you just start feeling better. You just overall start feeling better. Cognitive and brain health, definitely. People, as we get old, our brain gets a little foggy. My brother lives in Southern Mississippi, and when I talked to him in end of May, he's like, we're just having a hard time. We're hard time thinking about things. Words are not coming harder. Our energy is low. They started patching. 3 weeks later, I saw him at a family reunion, like, oh my gosh, it's made such a difference. In 3 weeks, both he and his wife noticed a difference. So I can just literally keep telling you all these different stories of people that I know, family members, friends that I know that are seeing all of these specific benefits, which is amazing. Okay. I love the last one, provides age reversal of more than 4,000 of our gene expressions to a younger state. Who wants to reverse aging? Okay. So, okay, let's go on. Let's see if I can figure out how to, I always have a hard time scrolling down. Okay. So, this is Christy. Why don't you unmute real quick and just give your testimony, since I have this picture in here.
Okay, I will. Excellent job, Renata. You do such a great job. So this is my son, Andrew. He was in a horrible motorcycle accident. He was fully geared, but the helmet damaged his artery, which caused him to have several strokes. He had a brain bleed, traumatic brain injury, tore every tendon, ligament in his knee, shattered his kneecap. The doctor said his wrist was like dust. He shattered his wrist, broke 5 ribs, bruised liver, collapsed lungs. He had COVID going into the hospital. And then, God bless him, he got MRSA and pneumonia while he was in the hospital. When we arrived, the doctor said, we don't know if your son is going to make it. And we immediately patched and prayed. And the doctor said, yes, you can put the patches on him, because somebody had the courage to share with Andrew's doctor 2 years ago. So now that you're on this Zoom and you've learned this information, if you're a guest, you have the power and the ability to create an incredible ripple effect, because you never know what your one yes could mean for somebody else. So I'm grateful every day that somebody shared with Andrew's doctor, and that's why I'm here to patch it forward. So we patched and prayed. He was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. When he woke up, they didn't know what his brain was going to be like, if he'd be a vegetable. And half of his body was drooping because of the stroke. So his face was droopy and he couldn't use his hands or his leg on the left side. But slowly but surely, Andrew started coming around. His speaking, he had a trach in his throat, so we couldn't totally understand him, but we could tell that his brain was working. It was sharp, both long-term and short-term memory. Andrew started shortly afterwards, after surgeries. He had 10 surgeries. He learned how to walk again. At month 4, he did have a brace on his leg. They thought he'd have for the rest of his life for neuropathy and drop foot. But at month 4, Andrew got rid of that. And month 6, he was living on his own, working, driving, thriving, never got addicted to pain medication. He never went into depression. And it's been about, this picture is 11 months later. And it's been about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. And if you didn't know Andrew, you wouldn't even know that he was in a motorcycle accident. We give God the glory. We give the surgeons the glory, and the patches and technology and all the prayers. So thank you for allowing me to share.
Yeah, thank you. And Christy, when the doctor asked Andrew if he thought, what really helped, what did he tell him?
Yeah, so he only goes to one doctor now. That's the family doctor. And the doctor asked, do you think your mom's patches helped you with your recovery? Because out of I've been in practice a long time. I've never seen anybody live through what you've been through. And I've never seen anybody recover like you have. Do you think your mom's patches helped? And Andrew said, yes. So very grateful for that again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm going to show you guys a few more pictures, if I can figure out this, my screen here. Every time I go off for a little bit, it goes away. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. So I just want to run through a few pictures, and then we want to do some testimonies. So these are just examples of scars and the support that X39 does for that internal healing, and literally healing from the inside out. This is day 1 and 2 weeks later of a shoulder surgery, and you can just see how much better that the skin has been put together there. The middle one is a gentleman who was in a really bad accident and almost looked like could amputate his hand because the injury was so bad. And you can literally see 63 days later, no addiction to pain meds, and the scar is virtually not there. It's just mind-boggling to think of that kind of healing. It's almost like magic sauce, It's like magic patches. You put them on and they can just really incredible healing. And then the last one is knee surgery. How many people do you know? I don't know what it is about, but it's like shoulder surgeries and knee surgeries. It's like it's like the things you do in your 50s and your 60s. Everybody I know is having shoulder replacement, shoulder surgeries, and knee surgeries. It's like your body starts giving out in these ages. I don't know, but well, no, I do know. It is what's happening. So, but for the people who are using the patches, hopefully we're not having to do that, and we'll continue to heal well and repair ourselves. But the one on the far right is basically knee surgery. And just very quickly, 5 weeks post-surgery, you can see the difference in the healing. It's mind-boggling. Here's another couple pictures. The gentleman on the left-hand side, he had a snowboarding accident, and literally 5 days, you can see how fast that healing is. And granted, he's younger, he's got more stem cells going on in his body than us older people do, or people of middle age. So that helped too, but the patches can just really accelerate that to have some incredible healing. And the young man on the right he had a really bad fall. You can see the kind of bruising he had around his eye. You can see he put on lots of patches, and basically 2 weeks later, and then also 7 weeks later, you can see the kind of difference. And look at the difference in the quality of his skin. It just looks more youthful, and the wrinkles aren't near as deep, and the swelling, and just like under his eye and the bruises. It's just amazing how quick that can help. So no matter what age, it's definitely helping us improve. Okay. A couple more. 4 months using X39, you can see how much it has helped her face. The lines in her forehead, the grooves around the mouth, and just even the neck and all sorts of stuff. You can just see how rejuvenated she looks there, which is amazing. And then this is one of the pictures that I showed the young man at the farmer's market about acne, how well it can help clear that up. And again, when you're younger, you have more stem cells, and that helps too. But the X39 actually, gives it that boost and that focused healing to help your body get rid of those scars. Okay. And pets. I love the fact that we can help our pets. And so one of the testimonies we're going to have today is also going to be about a pet. And I wish I had known about this. Literally, my dog passed away in December, like a month and a half after I had this, and he had a lot of issues. And I wish I had known it ahead of time. But it's fun spreading the word about this. A friend of mine has horses, and I just gave her a pack of AccuLife for the horse that she's boarding, to see if she can help him in the pain that he's in. So talk to the person that sent you to learn a little bit more. But basically what we tell people for your personal pets, maybe not necessarily your big pets, is take your patch after you've used it and put it on your pet the next day. People said, well, where can I stick it? Well, you can put it on a collar. You can put it on the head where they can't reach it. You can put a little piece of tape on it. I was house sitting a pet in Washington this summer, and she was just a little nuts. So we took her out of her comfortable environment, went to visit somebody, and she was pacing and going to all the doors and just really stressed out. And I put an Eon patch on her. She had really long hair. She was a Havanese. And so I just sort of parted her hair and sort of stuck it on the back of her neck and pushed her hair back. And so she didn't even know it was there. And she just calmed down and literally went to sleep. It was that big of a difference. So X39 is going to help heal. Eon patch is going to help calm your pet down, thunderstorms, all sorts of other things. So give that a try if you do have some pets. And then here's the cool thing. When you know about this patch and you start seeing it, you'll start seeing other people wear it. You'll start recognizing on professional athletes. You can see in the World Cup, you can see pictures, different tennis players, ballerinas, all sorts of people. We have testimonies all over our corporate website, as well as the kind of power that this is giving a professional athletes all the way around. So those are some pictures worth 1,000 words. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And then I would like to invite a couple people to do some testimonies. I'd like to just start off with Monica, if that's okay. My friend Monica, I've known her for 30 plus years, lives in Florida, and she has a wonderful testimony about not only about herself and about her pet. So Monica, you're going to need to unmute. Welcome.
Okay, hi.
I get to see you in a week and a half.
I know, woohoo! Yeah, so like Renata said, we've been longtime friends, and I'm not a person that jumps right into stuff. So she was telling me about these patches, and I'm like, nah, that's cool. I'm glad I don't really have pain. So I'm like, I don't really need that. And I went out to Arizona to visit her, and she's like, I'm just going to patch you for a week while you're here and just see, what you think about it. So about a week and a half in, I had increased energy. And in 2 weeks, I felt joyful. And I have recently lost my husband, so I have grief brain. Sorry. Try not to cry tonight. Anyway, it relieved that for me, and I can be joyful. So that's the most precious thing to me that I've received from the patches. But anyways, other things, I have increased energy, I have stamina, and I have increased hair growth. Like my hairline has always gone back pretty far, and as I'm aging, it was getting worse. And like, I've only been using the patch since March, and I have hair growing exactly where I want it. So that's pretty exciting. And then another thing is I have a cat that's 19 years old, which is literally like 100 in cat years. And over the past year, he's lost a lot of weight. He wasn't cleaning himself. He started to smell, and I was having to bathe him. He had mouth sores. He has a blister under his bottom lip that grows and bursts, and I won't go on about that, but I literally take my patch off that I'm wearing, and the next day I put it on him, I trim it down, I tape it on a little piece of fabric, and I put it around his neck, and literally in 4 days, he started cleaning himself. It's helped with his arthritis and his mobility. His blister thing is virtually healed. It doesn't grow or burst anymore. And I can show you him. He's right over here.
When I visited him, he would like take a step and hobble and take another step and hobble, and then he's like running. It's crazy. It's just been an incredible healing for him.
Yep.
So.
And so he's a Devon Rex. He doesn't have a lot of hair normally, and they don't really shed. So these are actually my late father-in-law's shirt sleeve trim pieces, and I cut them off and I put Velcro on them, and I can literally just take it on and off him. These are X39 and X49 that I put on him that I've worn the day before, and he wouldn't be here right now. I mean, without the patches. I know that.
Yeah.
So
he's doing awesome. Yay!
Yeah.
And I get to see him in a couple weeks. Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. And Monica lives in Orlando, so we're going to stay with her during the convention in a few weeks. So we're going to, thank you. Thank you for sharing your testimony, Monica.
Love you. Love you too.
Atelka, would you like to unmute and join us? You gotta have to unmute. Hang on. I'm gonna hit an ask to unmute and see if that helps. There we go.
Can you hear me?
I can. Awesome.
Okay. Thank you. Because I was confused with how to do that. I never use Zoom. So first of all, I had mouth numbness too, and I didn't realize it was gone until you just brought it up. I was like biting. I'm like, whoa, it's gone.
Yeah. Awesome.
It just becomes part of your life and you don't even realize it. So that was cool. So my name is Atelka. I'm friends with Carrie and Renata, and I met Christy at a presentation she did through a mutual friend. I think it was in November, October. But the friend that invited us, her father was really, really sick. And because his testimony was quite incredible, where he's off all his medication. I believe he doesn't have any more liver issues at all. Or no, sorry, it's kidney, right? Kidney, yeah. And he was unable to get out of his chair. It just was horrible. Now he can jump around. He goes downstairs. It's just, and because it's a friend's father, I was like, okay, this must be real. You know, it's just, yeah, it was pretty cool. So anyhow, that night, I still didn't sign up as a customer because I was still like, oh, I don't know. I have to think about it. And I just told myself, I'm going to do it for 3 months. I have nothing to lose. Just try it, right? So my main concern was my knees. So I used to be a runner, like the kind of runner that runs like 7, miles a day type of runner. And just one day my knees gave out and I was no longer able to run. And I didn't want to do surgery because I was probably 40 at the time. And I just didn't want to do surgery. I just said, oh, well, this is my life. And Carrie has helped me through the years try to get stronger with my knees, but nothing would help at all. So I put these on, and I would say, I'm trying to think, probably within like 2 months, just I was going to the doctor's office, which was upstairs. I went upstairs and I was like, oh, nothing hurts. Usually it's like I take a step and I'm like, like I have, just I can't lift my knees. And I was just so excited that I actually went back down the stairs and ran upstairs. Like, I was just like, this is incredible. So yeah, I'm like, okay, customer for life. Like, I'm sold. So yeah, I was unable to work out with, my legs, anything. So this last summer, I didn't go to the gym because I slept in with my kids every day. And I went to the gym probably like 2 weeks ago. And I just told myself, let me try and do some leg exercises. So I was doing the leg extensions, leg press, no pain at all with weights. I'm just like amazed. I'm just so excited about this product. And like I told Carrie, it's worth, like, the amount that I have to pay a month is worth being pain-free. And knowing that it's reversing, not just like for that moment healing, but it's reversing my injury and healing me. And I'm just so impressed with this product. And yeah, so you have a customer for life. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah. That was it. Yeah.
Oh, well, Atelka, you texted Carrie a few days ago when we were together, and you said, so tell us that.
Okay, so I'm always in a great mood. I always feel I love my life. I love everything. Like, I don't know, I just feel good. But this day I had a really bad dream. I woke up in a really weird funk. And usually when I have a dream, it dissipates. You're like, oh, that was a dream, whatever. But this just stayed with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna burn this out of me. I went to the gym, came home, I was like, I still feel it. And then I took my dog on a couple-mile walk, came back, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? I can't get this out of me. Because usually, like, physical activity will, just make me feel good. I put my patches on because I didn't put them on yet that day. And within like an hour, I'm like, okay, I feel like myself again. I'm an addict. Great. But it was so weird because it happened so fast that I'm like, oh, there, I found myself. Like, it's so weird. It just like centers you. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
No, it's not weird. It's just really that we all, we're all energetic beings, right? And so it helped recenter, coordinate that energy for you, and it made a difference. So I'm so glad to hear that. I really am. I love the fact that your knees are feeling better, because we're going to be doing a lot of hiking this.
I know.
A lot more hiking this winter, right?
Yes, for sure.
So, awesome. Thank you, Atelka.
Thank you. Sure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jose, you are up. What do you think? You share your testimony?
Absolutely. How's it going, everybody?
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Good. I know I was at work and I was like, oh, I got to get on this call on there. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I just want to, take a little bit of time and just share a little bit about myself. And then also I'm going to share a little bit about my daughter and one other person also too on mine. The reason that I got involved with using the patch technology here was I spent 15 years in our United States Army, going all over the place and stuff on there. Did a lot of running in my combat boots, which is not very recommendable for anybody. But I ended up having bad feet and stuff. And just like Audrey was talking about her knees and stuff like that on there, I was dealing with the bottom of my feet hurting a lot, and also my knees and stuff, because we used to run. We were addicts to running and stuff and everything, 7 to 10 miles a day and stuff. So, but I was dealing with a lot of this stuff with my feet. I went to Good Feet, trying to get some of those special insoles and stuff for my feet to help me out. But those would work just for a little bit. But then after that, again, I would have my real bad pains and stuff on there. So one of my Marine friends is also with us, involved with the company also too, had introduced me to the technology. And the same as a lot of people are, I was very, very skeptic. And, I was like, hey, I don't know if this is going to work for me. I've tried all kinds of things. I've tried different shoes. I've tried different insoles. I've tried the good feet. I've tried everything, and nothing has worked on there. So after, I think it was about 8 months of him telling me to try it out and try it out and try it out, I decided to go ahead and give it a try on there. Because he knew that I was dealing with that, but also I was dealing with sleep issues and stuff on there, because from the military, a lot of us, after we serve and stuff, we have difficulties dealing with sleep issues and stuff, because we let our guard down. Once we let our guard down, then it just brings out a lot of other issues that we never knew that we had before. So I went ahead and I started using the patches and stuff. And just like we tell a lot of people, you have to respect the patches and respect your body to give it the time to go ahead and do what it's supposed to do. So I dealt with my issues for years and years and years. So, everybody's a little bit different. Some people get it right away. Some people, it takes a little bit of time. So we say, give it 1 month for every decade. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a chance. I'm in my 50s and stuff. I'm going to give it the 5 months on here to see what it does for me. I started using them in the beginning. I didn't feel nothing. I still have pain in my feet. But within a couple of weeks and stuff, I started feeling less and less and less pains in my feet. I've been on the patches now for a little bit over a year, and now I have no pain in my feet and stuff, no pain in my knees, sleeping a whole lot better, and having a lot of good energy and stuff and everything. I'm using the X39 and also the X49 for the performance bundle on there. I just turned 58 last Monday. And one of my goals was that I wanted to go ahead and do a 58-mile bike ride, because I bike ride now. I do a lot of bike riding. So the first time that I tried to do it when I was 55 years old, all I could do was 50 miles, and that was it. And I couldn't do no more. This time I felt very, very strong, because I've been patching on there, and I was able to accomplish getting to my 58 miles. But then I added another 4 miles because I was very competitive, and somebody else had done 61 miles. So I had to go ahead and do 62 miles and stuff on there. So I did that. So the patches really have changed my life forever and stuff. And I will be a patcher for the rest of my life and stuff on there. The other thing also too, that I wanted to share was, my daughter just got married in August, and we flew out to Virginia to go ahead and go see her, and then up to Connecticut, where I'm from, where I grew up from. And my daughter was with us, and she's almost 17 years old, and she's flown before, so she was dying to get back on a plane. Well, on this particular day, we were flying from Tucson to Dallas and then to Virginia. On our way from Tucson to Dallas, she got a panic attack and stuff on the plane and stuff, which we were all shocked about, because she had always been excited about going on a plane and stuff. And I had my patches with me, and I was like, let's try these patches and stuff and see if this will help you go ahead and get through the flight on there, because I thought that we were done. I thought once we landed in Dallas, we were going to have to rent a car and come back to Arizona, because that's how bad she had gotten on there. She had gotten really, really bad. She was crying, and she was just kind of like freaking out and stuff. So I ended up putting on the X39 on her. And I put the Eon patch. So I put the X39 below her belly button, put the Eon patch behind her neck, the peace patch on there. By the time that we were landing on there, she was laughing, joking around, and she was good to go and stuff. We were able to go ahead and get on our next flight and make it to Virginia. So then after that, on every single flight that we did from Virginia to Connecticut and back to Arizona, she made sure that she put those patches on, and she had a great flight the rest of the way. We never had to deal with the panic attacks anymore and stuff on there. So that's that story on there. My last one was, I have another member of ours and stuff that's doing the patches and stuff. Her husband's 73 years old. He does house flipping and stuff like that. And when I talked to her, she was telling me that he had no energy. His back was hurting. He was having a lot of pains and stuff. So he could only work maybe like one hour on the house. And then after that, he had to quit on there. So I introduced him to the patches. He started using just the X39 only the X39. He started using that, and within the 2 days, he was out at his house that he was renovating and stuff and everything, and he spent the whole day out there at his house working on it. He had so much energy, his pain was gone and stuff, and he has been doing that. I went to go visit him about 3 weeks ago, and he goes, Jose, I want to show you something. And I was like, what's that? He goes, I'm 73 years old, and I haven't been able to do this for a couple of years. He started doing burpees in front of me and stuff and everything on. And he says, I haven't been able to do that for a while. So I was like very, very much convicted, even more on the patches, just seeing those two things happen in, not only to me, but to two other people that I cared about.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. That's such an incredible feeling when you can have such an impact, isn't it? On someone else's life.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm so thankful that your daughter is feeling better too. That's huge. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When you talked about that last time when we talked, it really made me think, because my daughter has super long flights when she comes home from Japan. And I think I'm going to talk to her about that, using those patches, because anxiety is just, it's really, and as a parent watching your child go through it, that's heartbreaking. So an incredible, Carrie, and I'm sure all of you guys do too, but Carrie and I carry patches all the time around, and we feel like we have this miraculous medical chest, in our purse, that we can just, help people, literally just anybody. And it is amazing. So thank you, Jose. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Thanks for having me share. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can touch and help somebody else, I mean, that's the biggest thing on here.
It really is. And congratulations on your 62-mile bike ride.
Thanks. I mean, I was very excited about that.
I don't think I could even do 10.
I wasn't even sore the next day either. I wasn't even sore the next day either. I mean, I was like almost ready to go. Like I could go ahead and go back out again.
That's amazing. So glad. Are you using the 49 as well?
Yep, I'm using 39 and 49.
Fantastic.
Using both.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, guys, we're going to do one more. Debbie, would you like to unmute and share?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Amazing testimonies. Those are all new testimonies to me. So I love hearing it. And while I'm thinking of it, get to the person that invited you, if you haven't already, and we have a great testimonial page that Christy has, and have them invite you to that testimonial page, because there's tons of testimonies. You can just search any kind of health issue and it will give you lots of testimonies. So you have tons of them.
That up. Yeah.
So for me personally, I'll start with how I found the patches, and in just the last 6 months, I've got like 3 more testimonies. So it's just amazing. The longer you're on them, I've been on them for 18 months, and I continuously find new things that's happening. It's been a blessing. But I started on the patches 18 months ago because I had restless leg. If you don't know what that is, it's a terrible urge to move your leg. So it's hard to explain unless you've experienced it. But it makes it hard to sit, to watch TV, to ride in a car. You can't sleep. And something triggered a really bad episode to where I wasn't sleeping at night. And I saw Christy's testimony on Facebook about her son. And I figured if it was helping her son, surely it could help my restless legs. And it did. After 4 or 5 weeks, it started easing the restlessness on my legs. I was able to sleep. I noticed more energy. I noticed after a couple of months that I haven't had to use my migraine medicine, which gives me terrible side effects. So I haven't had to use that medication in a long time. So it's helped with my migraines. The skin, the hair, it's been amazing. I noticed, gosh, it's probably been 4 or 5 months now that my eyebrows are coming in dark. They were gray. So age reversal is amazing. I love it. And then just in the last few weeks, I've had back pain for, gosh, over a year that I've just dealt with, but it had limited me at the gym. So I wasn't able to go as much as I wanted to. And my husband just last couple of weeks ago says, you know, I've noticed you complaining about your back. And I was like, you're right. And so I decided to push myself, and I took a couple of more challenging classes at the gym. I had no problem, no pain. And I've noticed, you know, just more energy. I've noticed I can exercise like I did years ago, which is a blessing. So that's after 18 months. I've always thought, okay, everybody is having pain relief except for me. Why is that? And what's interesting about the patches is it will go where it needs to go first. And apparently I had other issues for it to heal before it started with my back. And then recently, real quick, if you know about old skin, where you bruise really easily on your arms, I think you can do it anywhere, but mine was just on my arms, where the simplest bump or scratch would really give me a bad bruise. And the doctor says there's nothing you can do about it. And so I've just lived with it and had to be real careful. If I did bang my arm and bruise, I would wear long sleeves or whatever. And once again, I noticed I haven't had any bruises on my arms for weeks.
That's awesome.
And so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't bruising. So I deliberately scratched my arm with my nail really hard. Nothing happened, not even a scratch.
Wow.
So I'm a lifer too. I will not go a day without the patches. You know, it took us a while for health to deteriorate the way that it did. So it's going to take a while for it to heal. So I'm a firm believer. You got to stay on them. Things will continue to happen. It's been a blessing.
Awesome. You had wonderful testimonies, all sorts of good things happening. Thank you. You know, you also bring up another really good point about the paying attention to things. You know, there's actually like a little health questionnaire in that the person who invited you can give you, and you can share it with other people. We also talk about taking pictures before you start patching, so you can look back and look at those pictures, like taking pictures of scars, pictures of face, neck, hair, all sorts of stuff, right? Because just like you said, things will start happening and you're like, it might, you know, we're so aware of when something happens to our body that we don't like, but we're so unaware when those things go away, when they start improving, right? Because we feel pain, but if it's just all of a sudden gone, we're like, it takes us, you know, our senses don't work that way, right? So yeah, sometimes you have to start thinking about it like you did, and just think about, oh yeah, that's not happening. More like, okay, here's a crazy one, you guys. I probably told most of you guys know about the whole sunburning thing. I don't sunburn anymore, but this summer I was in Oregon camping, and I was talking to a lady in the bathroom, and she was saying she was getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. And she goes, "Aren't you getting bitten?" I was like, "Oh, no, but I have bug spray if you want some to come back to the car." Gave her some bug spray and everything. Had not a bite on me. Talked to multiple people. They were getting chowed on, and we were camping. And then like 3 or 4 days later, I got a text from my friend saying, "Hey, you know, just something weird's happening. My husband, her husband and I are not getting bitten by mosquitoes in Gilbert when they're going out and working in their yard, but the son and the daughter are." And she goes, "Did X39 have something to do with like not getting bitten by mosquitoes?" Like, I don't know. And then I started paying attention, and I literally, you guys, I have been in the Canadian Rockies. I've been all over the Pacific Northwest. Not once gotten bitten by a bug. Not once put any bug spray on, and other people around me are. So weird things, you know, but sometimes you don't notice until somebody else brings it up. So thank you for mentioning that, because they're just, and everybody's body is different. Everybody's going to heal differently and feel differently. So we never know how it's going to affect everybody. So thank you all for your testimonies. We're going to open it up for questions, but I want to do one quick thing. I want 3 important things I want you to remember about X39. If you take nothing else away today, 3 important things I want to stress. First one is hydration. You need to hydrate well. What does that mean? It means half your body weight in ounces at a minimum. So if you weigh 140 pounds, 70 ounces of water minimum. Not only that, but it needs to be good quality water, filtered or good quality water, but also adding salt or electrolytes to your water. Celtic salt is a good one. There's other also electrolytes. Feel free to reach out to me and I'll share some really good quality ones with you. So hydrating well is number one. Number two is consistency, okay? Putting the patch on in the morning, taking it off at night. The next day, putting it on in the morning, taking it off at night. We're not doing it every other day. We're doing it every day. We're working with consistency. Consistency, as well as the last one is time. You want to give patches the respect you're due, the respect the patches are due, and what your body is due. As Debbie said, our bodies didn't get where they are overnight. We need to give it time or give our body a chance to heal. So that means a minimum of a month for every decade that you are alive. And as you guys have probably heard, there's a lot of us here are doing way more than that. And we're patch enthusiasts, and we're going to probably patch forever because we really like the benefits, and we continue to see those benefits over time. So again, hydrating well, consistency, and also giving it the time that it's due. Okay, you guys. Christy, any questions in the chat?
Okay, so there were a few questions. One of them is about the flyers, about events that we have. So get back to the person that invited you. They will share with you upcoming live events in Arizona, also events that we have through Zoom, okay? And then another person asked about the slideshow. Shelly, I will get that PowerPoint to you. Let's see, there was there's some other questions. Hold on.
I see one. What can someone do for depression? We have the Eon patch that was mentioned before is great for stress and anti-anxiety as well as depression. As with any of our patches, they work optimally with X39, which is our stem cell patch. So foundationally, start with X39 and then add on other patches as well. So that can definitely help.
Yeah, I've done red light therapy for 6 months. I didn't notice anything. I would say that the patches are going to be different than that. It's going to actually use your own light and heat in your own body to activate GHKCU, which is that copper peptide, until your brain is it's time to wake up those dormant stem cells. So I think you're going to notice something much different here. And we tell people, and this is all clinically proven, you're activating your stem cells in 24 hours, and 70% will feel something in 30 days. The other 30%, again, like the lady said, give it a month for every decade that you are, and Jose, to give your body that respect and the technology the respect it deserves. So
So someone also asked any downside of wearing the patch for over 12 hours. I was just listening to one of David's webinars, and he talked about how over time, sometimes light therapy can become less effective. And that's why they say 12 on, 12 off. So your body can not get accustomed to having that patch on full time, even though it could be helping. So we want to take it off. So our body, it's stimulating for 12 hours, off for 12 hours. If you forget the patch and accidentally, like everybody has done, you wake up in the morning like, oh crap, I forgot to take my patch off. Just take it off, and then wait a day and start back the next day. Okay. You can also take a shower with it and, get it wet. You can, if it gets wet, you can just put it back on, stick it back on. If it doesn't stay on, put a Band-Aid over it. And again, you can also take your used patches, put them onto a pet, which is awesome as well. Okay. Anybody feel like
COVID?
It's what?
COVID. We have a COVID question. Are we having any results with long COVID patients?
X39, again, would be beneficial. Glutathione is one of our patches that is glutathione is our master antioxidant in our body. And so by using a glutathione patch for one day, it actually elevates your glutathione levels 300%. And so what glutathione levels do is allow your body time to detoxify. So for whatever you're dealing with, a virus or you're dealing with toxins in your body, if you can keep your glutathione level up, it gives your body time to detoxify. So glutathione is an awesome one for that. And again, depending on the long COVID type symptoms, they might be inflammation based, all sorts of things. Eon is a great one for that as well, to help reduce inflammation. But again, talk to the person who sent you, or reach out to me or Christy or someone, and we can walk you through some of those possible other options to help with that.
Yes, absolutely. And what's the difference between X39 and X49?
So X39 is our stem cell activation patch. X49 is our performance patch, and that will do things like help you increase your muscle mass. As Jose was said, it helps with performance. I've used it the day of and like after I've exercised to help me from being sore the next day, energy wise as well. For women, it helps. They did a study and it helps bone density in women, and it also helps protect against the damage that 5G can cause. We are very affected by, whether people realize it or not, but all the microwave, all the EMFs that are because of Wi-Fi and everything else. So a couple tips: turn your Wi-Fi off at night. Better yet, don't even have your phone in your room. If you can stay off of 5G, don't use the AirPods, all sorts of things like that, but we are affected by that. So the X49 does help protect us from the damage that can cause brain fog, depression, and everything else that comes from EMF damage. Yep.
Yes, very good. I love it. And then are we international? We are definitely international. We're in over 100 countries. Are we in the islands of Guam? My gosh, anybody know that?
I don't.
We can find out for you. Definitely get back to the person that invited you, and we will find out if we're in Guam. I would love to be in Guam and help people there for sure.
Yes.
I think that is it, unless anybody wants to.
Anybody want to unmute and ask some questions directly? We have some time. Anybody else? Okay. Well, pop in, just raise your hand or pop in if you have questions. So if you want to get started, if you are not using X39 and want to get started, talk to the person who sent you. You can come in as a preferred customer. You can come join our team as a brand partner, whatever you choose that works for you and for your budget. Very simply, you can start out at a silver package, which includes 3 months of a treatment, and that can get you started. So it's very reasonable, and it's something that your body will love you for, seriously. So last question is, Carrie, how many guests do we have today that we're aware of?
It looks like we're 5 people.
Okay.
And so that I could tell that
Okay. So why don't you, if you've numbered them randomly, why don't you tell me who number 4 is?
Number 4 is Tanya Brown.
Tanya, congratulations. So Tanya, I think you were invited by Debbie. Why don't you reach out to Debbie and make sure you give her your address, and Christy's going to drop some sample patches of X39 into the mail for you. Okay.
Perfect. I already sent Debbie a note that I want to get together with her in person.
Awesome. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Come join us on tomorrow night at our celebration, our 2-year celebration. We're going to be giving away a lot of prizes, over $200 worth of X39 and some other fun things. So I know, I'm so sorry, Carrie and Renata, we won't see you.
Zoom.
I know.
Would be there via Zoom or FaceTime.
We're gonna try. We will try. We will try that. You know me, I need Renata here to help with the Zoom.
Well, you guys, thank you all for joining us today. Again, reach out to anybody who sent you. Feel free to reach out to me. You can friend me on Facebook, friend Christy, anybody else, and we can help you out. You can also join our Facebook testimonial group and also join our community. And last but not least, if you want basic information, go to activationpatch.com and you can find a lot of great information there. So we would love to help you and support you in your journey. So don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you again for everybody joining us tonight. You guys have a wonderful night.
And I'm off mute, and I wanted to say happy birthday, Christy.
Happy birthday, Christy.
Thank you. I'm 35 now.
Happy birthday.
We're just
That's
switching
your
the
heart
numbers.
age.
We're
That's your heart
switching the
age.
numbers. That's right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
Renata.
night.
You did great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.